For this episode right here, if you're chilling with your girl, whatever you're doing, watching some TV, whatever it is you're doing, you're going to want to stop and pay sole attention to this video because it's an important one, and everything I'm going to discuss, it usually takes a couple of listens for you to really understand it. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is do not make the mistake of locking in a player into any collection that you do not want permanently. We're going to go to the collect section and we're going to go to collections. Usually there are starter collections. You're going to have a bunch of different categories in terms of players you can collect and receive rewards for collecting. We're going to go to the live series. We're going to go to a team like the Orioles. Here you see that along the left hand side you get rewards and experience for collecting a certain amount of players, and then when you collect all players of one team, there is a unique reward per team. So if a team has no diamond, you usually get a gold as the unique reward, and if a team has a diamond, for example the New York Yankees, you get a diamond as the reward, and the more diamonds the team has, usually the better the diamond reward is. We'll compare it to the Boston Red Sox. It's an 86 overall compared to the New York Yankees, who have a 92 overall because they have more diamonds on their team. So if you collect something, for example, I go ahead and I collect this 53 overall card. Once it has that label that says collected, you will no longer ever be able to sell that card. You can't quick sell it, which we will discuss what that is. You can't list it on the market. It is yours to keep forever. There is no way you can erase it. Now, the beautiful thing is, if you go ahead and collect one, and let's say you have 50 of them, once you collect one, it only collects the first one. Then you can sell all the other duplicates. So if you have 50, you can sell all the other 49, exchange all the other 49, etc. But once you lock in a card, it is locked to your account, to your inventory forever, uniquely that one card. Anything else that comes that's the same card will be a duplicate that you will be able to sell or quick sell, as long as it doesn't have a label as that one does that says no sell on the top left. As soon as you collect it, it will get the label no sell on the top left. Certain packs also do not allow you to sell their contents, but usually in the beginning of the game, the only pack that wouldn't allow you to sell the contents is a pack that they come out with, which is called the Jump Starter pack, that gives you a bunch of golds, but golds that you cannot sell back to the market, golds that you basically keep. So keep that in mind. Do not lock anything in that you do not want permanently for the rest of the game cycle. Next thing, quick sell. Quick sell option is a very interesting option in this game, and one that you have to pay very close attention to, especially when it comes to the market, because every single item has a quick sell value, or every single tier. For example, diamonds, no matter what the overall of the diamond is, standard price for a quick sell is 5,000 stubs. Now, when you quick sell something, you're not selling it to another player. You're not selling it to the community market. You are directly selling it back to SDS, and they will pay you 5K stubs for it, regardless of the overall. So if I wanted to sell Kirby Yates, which is an 87 overall, I'd get 5K stubs. If I wanted to sell Manny Machado, which is 5 overalls higher, I would get 5K stubs too. The same thing applies to the golds. No matter what the overall is, the standard quick sell price for a gold is 1,000 stubs. For a silver, it is 100 stubs. And then for a bronze, it is 25 stubs. Common is 5 stubs. So you're going to want to pay attention to this, and you're going to want to remember that, because it plays into the next mistake that I do not want you guys to commit. Now, the reason why it's important remembering what the quick sell value is for each and every single card is because, for example, let's hop into Kirby Yates. Kirby Yates right now has a sell now price of 6,000, meaning if I wanted to sell him currently to the first person that wanted to buy him, I could sell him for 6,000. The community market, every transaction made in terms of selling takes a 10% cut. In terms of buying, it doesn't take a 10% cut from the buyer. It will take the 10% cut from the seller always. So instead of me receiving 6,000 stubs for selling him instantly, I would actually be receiving 5,400, because obviously that's 10% of 6,000. So if you see a diamond being bought as a buy order / sell order, if it's on the right hand side of the sell order for 5,000 stubs, you're better off quick selling it, because the community market, once you sell it for 5,000 stubs to another player, it's going to take 10%. So instead of you making 5,000 stubs, you're actually going to be making 4,500 stubs. And clearly, when you look at it like that, quick selling it would have given you that entire 5K rather than you losing out on 500 stubs. The same thing goes for golds, silvers, bronzes, commons. You want to make sure that when you sell the item, you're making more after the 10% cut than its base quick sell value. That is something you're going to always want to keep in mind. Do not make the mistake of selling anything in the community market for less than what you would be getting after the tax cut when it comes to their quick sell value. Now, another rule or another mistake players might make is exchanging players in the beginning. Exchanging, let's say, commons, exchanging, let's say, silvers or golds, or not golds, exchanging common, bronzes, or silvers for a higher tier of that player. Now, you're only getting one bronze player when you do this exchange, and each overall has a certain exchange value. So if I wanted to exchange for one bronze player, I would have to exchange, let's say, 10 commons or even more than 10 commons of a certain overall common in order to complete that 2,250 threshold. Once I complete that 2,250 threshold, it will not allow me to add any more commons, and instead I would have to press start to advance and get that bronze pack. After I exchange, let's say, 20 common cards, all I would be getting is one bronze card. Clearly, in the beginning of the game, common cards, they're going to be high in price since everybody's trying to do collections. Bronze cards, they're going to be high in price. Silver cards, they're going to be high in price. So instead of you doing any exchanges, you want to go ahead and sell it in the community market if you're looking to make some stubs. Another place that you might be tempted to exchange them at is team affinities. Team affinities, they're looking good this year. There is basically Nico Goodrum for the Tigers. We're going to hop into the Tigers, but a fan favorite right now that everybody wants, I can't remember off the top of my head, but let's go with Salvador Perez because he's a catcher and he has amazing stats, for example. So every team is going to have an exchange Royals rivals, exchange X teams rivals. So you're going to be able to exchange the rivals of that team in order to complete a threshold and get points awarded towards the team affinity. When you get these points awarded, it allows you to unlock extra rewards along the way, and then eventually it will allow you to unlock whatever that diamond reward is that you're going for. Now, unfortunately, same thing applies here. Once you exchange a player, you lose that player forever. It never comes back to you. You can't quick sell it, put it on the market, etc. You just basically gave it to SDS for whatever SDS told you the value of that player was. Higher overall players have higher value, but the same thing applies. You don't want to do exchanges in the beginning of the game because the prices of the players are so high that you would make a bigger bang for your buck just going ahead and going into the community market and then waiting a week or two until things stabilize and then buying a certain overall that is the best to complete the team affinity exchanges, because every single year there is a certain overall of a card that's a certain price that allows you to complete a team affinity for a lot less stubs, a lot less exchanges than you would be doing if you try to do it manually. So those are 3 tips so far, 3 mistakes you do not want to commit. Now we're going to focus on the community market. The community market, when the game comes out, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be volatile. I don't know if I said it in the American way or the British way, but I try to say the word. You got to respect me for that. You feel me? So it's going to be crazy. Players are going to be fluctuating. They're going to be fluctuating big time. You want to follow this rule of thumb, in my opinion, when it comes to selling players. You want to follow. If a common is selling for more than 75 stubs, and it is a team that you're not looking to complete the collection of right then and there, if it's selling for more than 75 stubs to more than 100 stubs, sell that common. Put a buy order for 5 stubs, and I promise you, within 3 days, within a week, you will have that common for 5 stubs that you sold for over 75 stubs, making you a great profit. And you might say to yourself, well, I'm only making like a 70 stub profit. But if you do this for every single team or every single common you have, like 10 times 70 is 700, you do that 100 times, you just made yourself 7,000 stubs, which go a long way in the beginning of the game. For a bronze, my rule of thumb is Since a bronze sells for quick sell 25 stubs, if a bronze is over 200 stubs, I would go ahead and sell that in the community market as well, no problem. A silver, as soon as it's over 750, I would go ahead and sell them. Golds, especially low tier golds, if they're over 3,500 stubs, sell that bad boy. The only golds that I would suggest holding on to are golds that have the possibility of going to a diamond. But if that gold that has the possibility of going to a diamond, meaning, for example, right now, let's say Byron Buxton starts off MLB The Show 21 as a gold, which is possible. He's really hot and he might be upgraded to a diamond in roster updates. Once he gets upgraded to a diamond, his quick sell value as a gold was 1K. It's going to be upgraded now to 5K because he's a diamond card now. And because it's upgraded to 5K now, you're going to be able to quick sell him for 5K. So if it's golds like that, like Byron Buxton, I can't think off the top of my head, maybe Jack Flaherty or Lance Lynn, for example, let's say, high tier golds that have a good chance of going diamond, if they're selling for more than 5K, sell them bad boys, because as soon as they go diamond, they all drop price to quick sell value. Trust me, you'll be making money. You'll be feeling good on day one. If it's a diamond, diamonds are a little bit more difficult to actually go ahead and predict what is the value you should follow in terms of rule of thumb, because when a diamond drops, a lot of variables go into it. We'll go back to the inventory to go ahead and just show you guys this. So for example, and let's look at the Orioles before anything. The Orioles only have one gold. So the Yankees or the Red Sox, on the other hand, they have 3 golds in MLB The Show 20. So the prices for these golds are going to be less than the price for this Orioles gold. Why? Because the Orioles gold is much more rarer and it's the highest tier card for that team. Therefore, it's going to be the most expensive card to get for that team. So that gold is going to sell. Let's say Rafael Devers is selling for 2,000 stubs. This gold can be selling for 5,000 stubs, nearing the price of Sander Bogarts, for example, which you might think is crazy, but it's because this team has less amounts of gold. Next up, Chris Sale. He's a diamond, but he's the only diamond of the Red Sox. He's going to be selling for more than Luke Voit. He's going to be selling for more than Aroldis Chapman, Giancarlo Stanton, and he might even be selling for more than Aaron Judge just because he is the sole diamond of the Boston Red Sox, meaning getting him is much more unique than getting a New York Yankees diamond. Now, of course, cards that are over 90 overalls, they're going to be selling for a lot more than cards that are 85 to 89, because 85 to 89 are cards that you can get from events and Battle Royale, etc. The 90 plus rewards, they are the most difficult to obtain, especially for live series players. So their prices are going to be extremely high, and teams that have a bunch of diamonds or teams that only have one diamond and it's like a super high tier diamond, like the Angels with Mike Trout in previous years, it makes the card super, super expensive. All right, so that's number 4. Number 5 is you do not want to open packs unless you like taking risks, unless you like gambling, and unless you're going to go ahead and work the market. And when I say work the market, I mean this, and I mean this strictly. If you are going to open a pack, most of the times it's 1,000 stubs. I think last year it started off at like 1,500 stubs. So it was nearly impossible to make the stubs back unless you got yourself a gold. But if the packs are 1,000 stubs, I'm telling you right now, the way you work the market is you have to sell every single item that you get in that pack for the highest value you possibly can in hopes to make that 1K back to buy another pack. And that's the only way I would buy packs. If I was making the 1K back, I would not go out of my way to buy a bundle. I would not go out of my way to buy a 50 pack bundle, which is like 75,000 stubs. I wouldn't go out of my way to drop any of that. The only time I would buy a pack is I would buy a singular pack, 1,000 stubs, 1,500 stubs. If I made the money back, cool, buy another one. Make the money back, make a surplus of money, cool, buy another one. Make the money back, continue. As soon as I don't make the money back or I dip into a negative, I'm out. I'm out. You should be out too, trust me, or else you're basically going to lose all your stubs and you're going to be complaining, talking about, all I got was 3 commons and a bronze. You feel me? So you don't want to be doing all that. You don't want to be buying packs unless you know how to work the market and unless you're looking to work the market. And then after that, that's basically, I would say, a quick little overview or an overview in general of what it is you do not want to do in day 1 of Diamond Dynasty, and it revolved more around your inventory and the community market and everything. But I'm telling you, it is essential and it is important, because if you don't follow this, you're gonna end up losing stubs and you're gonna end up being taken advantage of. And you new players, I do not want y'all to be taken advantage of. I want y'all to come into this game as an expert and make everything competitive from launch to finish. So if you did end up enjoying today's content, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button, red subscribe button, turn on the notifications, click on the channel, follow my other channels, community tab, interact with me there. I'm active there. I'm also very active on all my socials, which are Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Don't use Twitch just yet, but it's coming soon. I promise you all that. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed. Love you all. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.